interested, so I'll do a little video. Right, little video of the Spitfire. So, all in all, this is actually a lot better than it looks, in my opinion. Always add that on, because everybody's opinion is different. Somebody, unfortunately, has spent a great deal of time and effort paint brushing it with a roller, which is good because it means it'll probably never rot from the outside. So let's start at the beginning. New battery, new distributor, leads, electronic, new coil pack, starts on the button, new fuel pump, tank's been off, drained, cleaned out and treated, carbs have been off, stripped, cleaned, new jets, balanced and tuned. She runs lovely. New fan belt, new oil, an oil filter. We've thrown a set of shells in there as well. So the engine's really good. Starts up very, very easily and ticks over very, very nicely, which I'll show you on another video. New brake, slave cylinder. Now the wheels are very good because unfortunately they're this horrid red, but somebody's actually taken the time to have them shot blasted. So they are in really good condition and will only need a key and put into a nice colour in silver. Tyres are new. Inside, customary ripped driver's seat, so that's going to need to be done. The back panel's out because I've had the tank off, so there you go, that's the way to access the tank. Solid floors. I'll go underneath in a minute and show you properly what the floors are like. So there's your dash. She's going to need some rewiring. There's a cooling fan on a separate switch here, which I've rigged up, which works well. One of the best things about this is the roof. The roof's really good and makes the car a nice drive, to be fair, in this weather. So we've got areas like this that are going to need lots of attention and lots of love, but nothing terrible. Let's get underneath it and have a better look under there, because it has had welding, poor welding, but it's solid in the places that it needs to be. So it depends really on how far you want to take this this project on, whether you want to strip it all the way back and have it as a minter, or tidy it up and have it as a user, a daily user. Ramp's a bit slow, unfortunately, but she'll get there in the end. We should be able to show you some exciting stuff. Not sure where. Here we go. All right, so let's start at the back. Nice, very nice exhaust system, which if you come onto the other video when it's running, you'll hear it. Sounds very nice, and it's all the way through. So we've got brand new exhaust system, or recent exhaust system, 4 into 2, into 1, into 2 at the back. Those are definitely recent, as are the brakes. All new brake pipes I can see, polybushed on both sides. Again, the same here. I noticed when I had the wheel off and checked the brakes that they are all new inside. And in terms of, look, this is what I mean. So it's solid, but it's poo, isn't it? But it is solid. Very solid for its age, obviously. And it's pretty much like that. We've got a bit of crumbling coming from this hanger here, but it's still pretty solid. New brake pipes. Chassis is really good. I mean, look, the chassis will actually clean up and polish. In fact, I would go as far as saying is that isn't very... Oh, right, okay, hang on. We've had a bit of that pigeon shit welding done here on this outrigger. So they've had welding done, look, patches, but just crappy repairs. I'm grinding down to make it right, and and re-welding really, and then sealing up. But it, you know, it could be used at that. We've got a recent caliper and braided brake pipes. Again on same again on this side. Springs are serviceable. Got the customary slight oil leak from these. Air horns, don't know whether they work. And I think I spotted a little bit of, yeah, so a little bit of oil leaking from the diff, which if anybody's ever had one of these, in fact that looks like it's been off and painted. If anyone's had one of these, they will, especially when they've been stud, which this has. So there you go, there's the underneath. We'll do a little bit of a look again over the bonnet and the engine bay and the boot, so you can have a good idea. You can see here where it's going to need most of its attention will be on the bonnet, to be fair. It's pretty crappy looking. See? Okay, so bonnet. I mean, it's not the worst and it's easily savable. Some people will look at that and think it's horrendous, but for anybody in the know and who's done this sort of project before will know that this is not anywhere near beyond repair. So there's your, well, let's have a look. Still got our little sticker up there. You can see remnants of a bit of filler. We've got a little hole and something starting there that's going to need, yeah, it's going to need some attention. But other than that, it's just paint flaking from brake fluid. Boot. So like I say, that tank's been off, completely drained, and sorry about that, one of the lads does that. Been completely drained and treated inside, so there's no rust in there. And again, you can see where someone's welded. They've done a bit of a poor job. They're obviously training to weld, but it's solid. It is solid. There's only a couple of areas on it that would really need, for the purpose of road safety and MOT, need doing really. Right. Let's start the old girl up. Now, like an idiot, I lost the key. So we're back to screwdriver key. There's no oil pressure gauge on these, but I have manually oil tested it, pressure tested it. Check the pressure of the oil tester, not a pressure test of course. And she's good. Fuel gauge doesn't work. I haven't checked the temperature gauge, to be honest with you. I know the fan works because I've wired that in. There's your choke. I have no idea what these do. I haven't even bothered to look. So it's just running on choke at the moment. A little bit. Door cards are still very serviceable and work. Window winders are working. There's one missing on that side there is the door release, but it's here. Well, part of it's here. I don't know whether the rest is. Can't see them. I'll have to check. But the guts of it, I'm not sure if they're in the door, to be honest. She'll sit there and do that all day long. That is the boss, or so she thinks. Now the reason I'm selling this isn't because I'm a crook. It's because, I'll show you in a bit, it's because, I'll show you now quickly. Because I've got that bugger to do, which I've been trying to finish and do forever. And it gets so far, look, I go through all the hard work of doing lovely things like that to it. And then the poor old girl, because of these bloody monsters, Poor old girl gets sat in one corner, ready to do nothing. Look how lovely she is underneath there. She's just sitting there waiting to rot. I've got to do the roof. I bought that. Anyway, we're digressing, so let's not digress. But I mean, that's a much nicer car, isn't it? Come on. You can understand why. Look at her. Look. Bloody rock coming. Water. See? Oh, jeez. So I've got to get... I can't have... And then I've got the Robin Reliant over there. A bloody... What's it called? Golf GTI Mark 1 that I've got to do for a customer. So I love these. I had one of these when I was 17. Best car I ever owned. I saw this, I thought I'll buy this, I'll do this. And I thought, well, I'm crazy because I've got a TR6. What am I faffing about with a Spitfire for? Well, I like Spitfires. But I can't do it. I'm getting too old as well. My knees are buggered. This needs to go to a little... I mean, listen to her, look. Listen to her, she's lovely. Oh, that's a thing as well. The brakes work well. Let's turn it off the choke now. The brakes work well, but this one needs adjusting because it's right up here. So when you come off the throttle, you've got to write a letter to your knee asking it to lift up into a position where it normally hasn't been, or certainly hasn't been since you were 20, and then push it back down onto this bad boy to stop yourself. Alternatively, you've got the old man's quick stop, which is there, which does work. Clutch is good. Gearbox, customary little whine, as they do on these. But she does, I'm sure you will all agree, if you're all pleasant people, sit there very, very nicely. So your primary goal on this, if it was me doing it, would be to make the decision as to whether or not you're going to do it barebacked all the way back, which is a massive task, or switch her off, or not. Just give it a cosmetic. You could even use it like that. Good bumpers. Good. So I think there you go. I think that's enough. But as you can tell, I like talking, especially about Triumphs. And if you want to have another video or a chat, there goes a magpie. Everybody salute. Then you are more than welcome to give me a call or ask me a question online if you're frightened to speak to me over the phone for any reason. And if you spot a modern piece of poo that you might like whilst you're here, you can always buy one of them, which would be nice. Okay, so I'm going into the office now to upload this, and hopefully... Oh yes, how much do I want for it? Good question. I think that car, a fair price for that car would be £3.5 grand as it stands. So, I mean, we're open to do work if you wanted some work doing, but there's a heck of a time list, so you'd have to ask and see. Right, okay, right, I'm going. Okay, be safe, be good, and be safe.